Hey y'all, today we're diving into something heavy duty. Unboxing and assembly of a brand new wood chipper. If you've got big yard projects or want to take your landscaping to the next level, this tool is a game changer. Let's see what's inside the box and get it up and running. Stick around for tips and tricks to make your setup quick and easy.
£629, not a big deal.
Hi y'all, welcome to our ranch adventures. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Won't you be my neighbor? Hey, today we're going to introduce you to our new neighbor. I don't have any slippers to change into or a sweater, but we just took delivery of our MechMaxx B150 wood chipper today.
Whoop, whoop.
And we are pretty pumped about this. This is a 6-inch wood chipper with a Kohler engine. We had 3 different options to choose from on the engine. You can either get a Ducar, which is a little bit cheaper option. We chose to go with the middle range, which is a Kohler commercial engine, or you can get a Honda engine. And there is a price difference on each one, so we did go with the middle grade engine. And the color should be red. They didn't have it in green, or I would have got green. So this one should be in red, but we're gonna do an unboxing and show you how to put this bad boy together.
All right.
This crate has these little clippy deals on here that you just have to bend up and straighten out, but I'm gonna try to take this off from the bottom and just lift it off so I don't have to disassemble the whole everything.
All right, last doohickey.
All right, now let's see if this works out as I anticipate it probably won't. We do it nice because we do it twice. Let me see if I'm going to try one other thing to pry this bottom up. I must confess, my wife is a genius. She had me straighten out the little foldy tabby dillies, and it seems to be coming off. But now I'm going to ask her to put down the camera and help me lift this box off. The cover off, and this is how everything is packaged inside the crate. Looks like everything traveled quite nicely. I don't see any issues at all. I do see a missing valve stem cap on one of the tires, but other than that, I don't see anything that's like minute nothingness. So let's start taking everything off here. There's your hitch. Looks like we've got a couple of manuals here, a wood chipper, and then the big thick one is just for the Kohler Command Pro commercial engine. Pocket knife here. Let's cut this thing open without cutting anything up. There's the light bar. That was the axle that fell. Everything here is pretty beefy. There is nothing light about this this piece of equipment. There's one of the tires. Here's the end of the discharge chute. That is very heavy duty, very heavy built. Here is the actual discharge chute itself. That is for the drawbar attachment. Looks like we got a couple of tools with it also. Nice. So maybe this is everything I need to put it together. I'm not sure. All right, so everything looks great. I don't see anything that looks damaged or anything like that. Here's the battery in the battery box. Let me set that up here. Looks good. I just took the foam that this was packaged with and put it here on the ground. I'm going to try to tilt this down so that I can rest the engine on there and do the axle. Let's see how this goes. This is not light. I think it was 675 pounds is how it was packaged. All right, so that went okay. The axle bolts. One thing that I'm not real fond of here was the fact that all the nuts and bolts were just laying in the bottom here. So I'm hoping that everything is here. I think there could have been a better job done with at least putting them in a bag or something, because they were literally scattered out all over the bottom of the crate. I put these two bolts through here from the inside and slid them down. Now I'm going to grab the axle assembly up here. And we're going to bring this down to where it goes. And you can see the big holes there should be line up with these. There we go. We're going to slap a washer on here and a lock nut. And just get these started finger tight. Alright. Same thing here. Get this lock nut started. Alright. Oh, I've got a 22 millimeter socket here and my handy dandy adjustable wrench here. Alright, so we've got the axles on. Now we're going to go ahead and throw the tires on. Before we do that, we're going to pull all these bolts off. So a couple of things that you want to look for on your tires when you're putting them on is there is a valve stem on here. You want to make sure that that's on the outside. That's for, of course, doing your air and maintenance. The other thing is there's an arrow here, and that's your directional arrow for when you're going in the forward direction. You want to have this where when you're pulling the trailer, the arrows go in the same direction. Now, if you follow your directions, it says to put the bolts through from the back side here. All right, I've got one started, and I'm going to throw a nut and a washer on there just to keep it from coming off. There we go. So this is a 17 millimeter, I think, but I don't have the right socket for my 1/2 inch drive, so I'm using a 1 1/16.
Some people just call that an 11/16.
that I have here that'll fit. So, and then the little tool that's provided is working out quite handy on the back side to hold back up. Okay. She works. Now we're going to switch sides. We're going to jump on this side. Same thing here, guys. Going to make sure the valve stem is on that side over here. And you're going to look at your arrow. There it is, pointing in the forward direction. The wheel's going to turn this way. You can also look at the tread pattern and see there's kind of incorporated in here. You can see that there's arrows in the tread pattern and the way that it goes. But I'm not a tireologist, so I don't know all the details on that. But again, you're going to run your bolt through the back. And we almost had it there. All right, got that on there. Going to put a washer on there. And we're going to start a lock nut just so it doesn't back off on us. This is like Braille here, trying to find these holes from the back side, looking at it from the front side. We're trying to do this without any equipment in case you don't have access to that. So we're trying to figure out a way to do it. And I've got my oldest son, Cole, here. And what we've come up with is we're going to try to put the feed chute on here to be able to use it as leverage to hopefully rock it back and then be able to hold it up to put the front assembly on. Don't know if this is going to work or not, but this is what we are going to give a shot.
Got it?
Now we're going to go ahead and put the battery box on. It's really like the other that shows later, but since we've got this side up, we're going to just go ahead and slap it in here. So Braxton loves to have an empty can in his hand. It doesn't matter what it is. He loves to have him an empty can. So are you helping, bud, with an empty can? Huh?
Yeah.
Let's see.
You're not right in the middle of everything, are you?
He's supervising. Okay. Did you use the supervisor?
Thank you. Okay, here's another one.
So somehow we missed capturing this on video, but we used the chute that we just installed as leverage to rock the wood chipper back on its wheels so that we could work on the front portion of the wood chipper. It needs to go back a little bit on this side. Just the next piece that we put on is this piece for the front wheel assembly. Put that on there. Start the lock nut. And then this pin will go through there. And we tighten that up. This piece of pipe that's welded to this cross member, it is there so that when you raise the front wheels up that make it easier for you to move around, that you can put this pin through this hole and that will have your wheels raised up for when you're towing it with the drawbar on a trailer hitch. So make sure that this is on the bottom. So we're going to put the hitch extension in next, and that's just these two bolts you got to remove. There we go.
Fixing the tire. Bob the Builder style.
The next thing we're going to do is we're going to remove this cotter pin and this castle nut here. Castle nut because it looks like a castle. See that? We're going to set these aside for now, and we're going to grab this front piece here. And these little wheel lock mechanisms on the here need to go to the front. So we're going to put this up here, slide that over the bolt. Here, shimmy, shimmy, Jimmy. Okay. You can put the cotter key in here, and we're just going to give this a little bend so that it can't come out. There we go. She's on her own four wheels. All right, so next you want to remove these pins here. Cole already pulled the cotter pins out of them. So we're going to pull these off, and then we're going to put the discharge chute in here. Paint is a little thick on there, so had to persuade it a little bit. And then put these pins back in. All right, now we got this handy dandy discharge chute. This is so you can direct where your chips are flying. Just going to loosen those up, and they'll slide in. There's a groove here, so you have to have these bolts backed all the way up so they're not interfering. Slides over, and then you tighten those back up, and you just loosen them up, and you can point this wherever you want to discharge to. So right now we're going to discharge it, Cole. So the next thing that we have to do is put this rear bumper on. We do have bolts for it, which has got to be these right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this discharge, open this discharge up. Just kind of swing it out of the way. I think that'll give me some more room.
Can we roll that drum? Just so I can see. Woo! There she be. Cool.
She bite you. And we got this here tail light bar, and to be honest with you, I'm not even really sure why I'm going to assemble this on there, because I'm not going to use it on road at all. These tires are, they say they're DOT rated. They're not safe for highway use. which means they're okay for back roads and stuff, but you don't want to be flying down the road with them on the interstate or anything at like high speeds. Same thing, we got 2 bolts that fasten this on. Well, that's a heck of a knife in there. There's 2 of those knives in there. Same thing, you got a washer and a lock nut. Slide those on the bottom here. So it's fall in Texas and acorns are dropping off all the oak trees. And Brexton here is just having the best time picking up and collecting acorns. Is that an acorn? Thank you. Thank you. Uh-oh. Here you go.
Oh, thank you. Oh, we did it.
Alright, so there's lights on this trailer so you can pull it. Like I said, it's not for running down the highway. These tires aren't good for running down the interstate or at high rates of speed. But for local back roads and stuff, they should be fine. Now on these lights, we are never actually going to use these, and I think they're going to get in our way. So I'm just actually going to just take these off, and I'm going to tie wrap these connectors up in here so that they're there if I ever need them. And then I'll put this away, that if I ever want to use it on the road, I have it, but I don't see that I'll ever use that. And that just eliminates an extra trip hazard and everything on the front. So if you want to run the lights though, you do need to take the hitch coupler off and take a wire or a stick, and you're going to run them down this tube all the way to the back. And then you have the connectors back there that you'll have to screw back into the lights. Since I'm not going to use them, we're not going to do that process. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this back closed. I will have to adjust these latches here before we do anything with those. They are loose. And we have connectors to do up here. These are all safety connectors. And there's 4 of them. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see. And they just all snap together. They all go to the same place and do the same thing, so I don't think it matters which one goes where. Pretty easy to do here. Now those are all done up. Well, underneath here you have your battery wires, which are right here. Of course, your red is your hot and your negative is your black there. I'm going to open the battery box here, and there is a hole in the back of the battery box here. We're just going to kind of flip our lid open. We're going to flip our lid. Alright. So we've got that through there. Oh, I might need to get a shorter screwdriver. Okay, we're going to take this positive off here. And put that back in there. Okay, and then we're going to do the same on the negative.
Righty tighty, lefty loosey.
Yeah, righty tighty, lefty loosey. This one has blue on this side, but it has a negative right there. So I'm gonna feed the screw through. Just tighten this down. Okay. so we've got that on. Look out, Brexton. Look out, buddy. Now these latches right here should be tight when you pull them. These are not, so what I need to do to adjust these is I'm going to go ahead and loosen this bottom side up. Oh, thanks, bud. Bottom nut up, and I'm going to find an end wrench that'll fit that.
Say it again.
This is a 10 millimeter end wrench. We are going to be tightening these up until we got some tension on these latches. Are you helping me? I know it.
Alright, Dad, what we got going on now?
Alright, so I just tightened these latches up. All you have to do on these latches is adjust these screws until they're tight. The next thing that we have to do is there is no oil in these things when they're shipped. So we need to add some oil to it. And our assembly process is done, other than the fact that where I did not run the light wires, I'm just going to use some zip ties and tie those wires up out of the way. And that'll be it. So while I'm thinking about it though, I'm going to go ahead and grab the zip ties. Yep. I'm going to open this up so I can get back to these wires back here. We are just going to gather these up. And just get them out of the way so they won't interfere and they won't get damaged in case we decide we want to use them in the future. There we go. This has got two dipsticks on it, one on each side of the motor here. I'm just going to remove one of them, take my handy dandy little funnel, make sure it's clean, and we're going to slide that in there. And I believe this is going to take about a quart of oil. All right, I am running 10W30 in this. Let's give that a second to run down. Let's see what we look like over here. Looks like we're good. One thing to keep in mind, that after about 5 hours of your initial operations, you want to change the oil in this just to, if there's any debris or anything left from the machining process, that you can get that out of there if everything's flushed out. Now we're going to put some gasoline in it and we're going to start it up. One thing to point out is I am 6'4", and it was a little bit challenging putting gas in this because the gas tank is on top of the engine and it was a little taller than what I'd anticipated. On this Kohler Command Pro 14 horsepower engine, over here on the side underneath the air filter, you have your choke right here. So that's on, that's off, or your normal run position. And this other switch here, that's a fuel valve. Right there is off. When it's all the way back and the choke is in the run position, that is your fuel is on. Over here under the fuel tank is your throttle. You have a turtle and a rabbit. You just adjust this bar for the throttle. all the way on rabbit when you're actually working it and you're chipping material. And then this is the key switch. That's your start and stop. This is an electric start engine. So we got the throttle set about midway here. We're going to set the choke about mid-choke since it's hot here in Texas. Fuel is on. Let's give it a start up here. Thing that I didn't mention is this has a couple of safety features in it. One is this safety bar here, and that's what I just pushed to kill it. And that's in case you're working back here and you get pulled in, that your body should trip this. Shut it off. There's also one up on top. Important thing, you got to twist it, follow the arrows to get it to unrelease because it locks down once you trip it. The other safety releases is if this feed chute is open, it will kill the engine, and same with the exhaust chute. If that opens up, it'll kill the engine. So excited to put this thing to work. Hope this video was helpful for you all. If you like this content, please smash that like button and subscribe. And as always, go have an adventure of your own. Thanks, y'all. Please watch for future videos where we take this wood chipper out to the ranch and see how much wood this wood chipper can chip.